G'day everyone, Teenic back here again in Transport Fever on the River Delta map. As we can see, we have an oil train arriving at, where are we? Birkenstock, Birkenfels, Birkenhead, Brackenheim. Yep, close enough. We've seen an oil train arriving at Brackenheim Station. You may notice the date has jumped forward to sort of mid-1942. That is because I had a bit of an idea that's different from the idea I had last time, which was to just keep fixing things, which is not really that interesting to watch. And I thought, why don't we try this idea out? But I'm going to put a proposition to you. I'm going to try this idea out, and if it works, well, all good and well. We'll let it stand. But if it doesn't work, if this turns out to be a dismal failure and complete waste of money, then it won't be canon. We'll just roll things back to April 1942 and we'll kick on again next episode as if it never happened. Now what I'm talking about is Brackenheim here being connected up to Kelida. Now, there's two ways you can do this. Obviously one way is you can run all the way down and around like that. The other way is to have a direct service. Now how do you have a direct service when you've got this much height difference? You either run a bus route down here and have a ferry. And I mean, we've got lowered bits of land here, so that could work. Admittedly, it's not lowered much. I actually haven't priced that one out, so let's just see if that would even work. No, because it thinks the dot. Well, hang on, it worked. Yeah, okay, so it would work in theory, but I can't see that making a lot of money. My other idea, and this is the one I want to run with today, is to have a plane service between the two towns. Now. Don't know if it's going to work. Planes are notoriously expensive and fiddly in this game, and they generally only work if there's no other way to get between the towns. So, you know, normally that means there's no road connection between the towns. In this case, there is a road connection, but it is ridiculously long. So what I'm hoping is that if we have a ridiculously long road connection, then anyone who does want to go between towns will not use a private car, they will use the plane. Obviously, there are two types of passengers in Transport Fever. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before. There are those that want the quickest route to their destination, and there are those that want the cheapest. Now, the quickest route people are going to get out of their car immediately because they're going a long way and jump in the plane. However, the people that want the cheapest are likely not going to do that because, well, planes are very expensive. The ticket price is very high. Now, my concern is, because these towns aren't already connected, there is actually no demand for passengers to go between the towns. The only thing I have going for me is that there is shopping in Brackenheim created by the tool works here. You know, we're delivering tools here and we're creating jobs by delivering machines. So hopefully people from Kelida will want to, and I'm using air quotes here, commute from Kelida to Brackenheim for shopping and for work purposes. So we're going to give it a go, and I figured why not do it now in the 1940s when planes are cheap, well, cheapish, compared to sort of later. I was going to do this sort of in the 80s when, you know, I'd connected everything else up, but I thought if it makes money, it's probably a good thing to have running from the get-go. So I did a bit of scouting around, and it's very difficult to place an airport anywhere near either of these towns, but I think I found a spot sort of up here where I could get it to around 2 million. Whether I can find it again is another matter. No, it just keeps getting oh, here, hang on, we had it for a second there. 1.98, there we go. That's what we want. We're just gonna put the airport in there and just sort of let it sit and let it percolate a bit. We are going to need to connect that up to the street network though. Now immediately we're going to have problems trying to get a bus stop in here, which you can see is going to be a bit of a nightmare. So we do want to keep this within town, so we'll go with a medium street here. Yeah, I guess if it drops down like this initially, that's probably not going to be too much of an issue. And then we'll just go ahead and connect up, excuse me, maybe down here like this. I sort of want to connect up here, but I'm worried we're gonna foul up that house. Why are you forcing? Oh, because I've clicked on that thing. Of course, my bad. Maybe if we get it to go to about, say, here, we might be able to connect that up. Without, no, we're going to knock down, oh, it's only 90 grand, we may as well knock down that house. Whoop-de-doo. And then obviously we need an intersection here, so we can extend this onto the looping bus network that we've got, rather than having a dead-end terminus. So we'll go ahead and whack in a couple of bus stops just here, so they're within walking distance of the airport. Now hopefully that will work. Hopefully commuters will catch the bus up here and get the plane. Obviously they are in range, but yeah, I must admit I must admit I've noticed that changing modes of transport does tend to dissuade people somewhat. Okay, so your City Circle AC and your City Circle CW, so you guys will do fine. Now, Mittelstrasse number 4, and then you go to Clifton Wig there, so you can now swing by up here. We may have to move Clifton Wig station just slightly to the other side of the intersection, because, you know, otherwise it's not going to work very well. There we go, there's Clifton Wig there, so that's fine, and that works well with the outer. And then you, after Clifton Wig, or whatever it's called, you go up to Meisenweg there. Good. And I'm actually going to rename Meisenweg because that's just a really stupid name. We'll call this Brackenheim Airport Bus Stop, which is a bit of a mouthful, but I think it gets the job done. And this is not Brackenheim East, this is Brackenheim Airport, obviously. Duh. So that should be fine now. We can unpause that now that we've fixed our buses up. Now, that hasn't broken your orders, hopefully. You're a car. Okay, you're not a bus. Good. So hopefully they should just adapt to their slightly longer route there, and that shouldn't affect anything in town, hopefully, because the last thing I want to do is break something that works. Now, in Kalita, had a bit of a scout around it again. I found an airport for just over 2 mil, and that was around about here somewhere. Yeah. The big problem with airports is, you can see the land that's trying to cut down on this side for the flight path. That's something we really want to avoid doing. Okay, this is pretty reasonable. We might even be able to get it under 2 mil if we're careful. No, I think 2.2 is roughly our best bet. And yeah, not quibbling over mere cents at this point, so we'll just drop it in there. Sorry about all the people that live here who now have a flight path over their home, but you know, what are you going to do? So we're going to run this down. That's going to collision with the airport, which is okay. I can deal. And what I want to do with Kalita is a little bit different to how we did things up here at Brackenheim. Because Kalita, I also want to put a bus route in down to Oxenhausen. Now, I realise there's not a direct route. Obviously, Gaggenau will be easier to connect a bus route up to. But the idea being we might be able to pull some passengers from Gaggenau and Oxenhausen, maybe not Oxenhausen, but definitely Gaggenau, up through Kalita to get the plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a sort of a bus terminal up here at the airport, and we'll just see how that treats us. In terms of passenger numbers. Now that's going to be about 50 grand. That's not cheap. What if we put it in over here? How about that? That's 60 grand. Okay, that's worse. That's, oh, here we go. 40 grand. Yeah, okay. I can live with that. Oh, here we go. 30 something. I don't want people to walk too far to get to the plane. That's the real trick there. What if we... Yeah, it's 85 grand, but it's just across the road to the airport, so we can afford it. I'm going to pay it. I'm going to smooth it. I'm going to smooth it with a bigger brush, and we're just going to have to live with it. Because, yeah, that way, instead of having so much a city circle route, I'll have a couple of routes that pass through town and go to the next town to bring people up to the airport, because the airport itself has catchment of literally nothing. And this is going to be Kalita Airport, obviously. And this will be Kalita. We'll call this bus terminal, because this will be where the buses all come in. So, you know, like something like that. Good. Okay, so what we need to do now is set up a plane route from Brackenheim to Kalita, and as you can see, yeah, it's got a lot of carry on to get to and from. So this is why planes don't tend to make a lot of money, because they have to swing out a lot to line up with the airports, and I'm not sure what the solution to that actually is. What's with this janky bit here? Oh, that's where he goes up in the air. Okay, I thought he came off and then immediately took a right turn for some reason. I thought, why would you do that? So he's got a far more gentle descent down here. Why has he got such a sharp climb here? Is it something to do with this land here? No, we'll figure it out. So we'll call this, let's see, what's our naming convention look like for passenger lines? We've named our passenger trains. Okay, so I guess we'll call this air, just as a prefix there. And we'll call this Brackenheim to Kalita. Okay, that's it's not elegant. We might revisit it later, but yeah, we'll serve to keep it at the top of the list here if we get all, so we can group all of our air routes. Because I mean, it's probably the only one we're going to have, but I also sort of envisage one maybe from Kirpsby to Weida in the future. You know, if this actually takes off, pun definitely intended. But if it doesn't take off, you know, we won't really investigate it. So now that we've got that going. We'll go ahead and buy a plane for the route. Now what do we got? We've got the Junkers F-13. How much is that going to set us back? 179 grand. Not much. Very cheap. Carries 3 passengers. Can probably do better. The Dornier Mercure, which sounds like a cocktail. That can only carry 5. Again, not great. So I think we go the DC-3. Only a capacity of 8. I mean, clearly that means everyone gets a bloody window seat. Who's sitting on the other side of the aircraft? But, I don't know. Top speed of 333 kilometers an hour. Only costs 160 grand a year to run. So hopefully those 8 passengers are willing to pay a lot for their tickets. Because, yeah, we're going to give that a go. Send him out, and then all that's left to do is to connect up the bus route at Khalida to make sure we can pick up passengers and bring them into town. So we'll put a couple of bus stops in town here, and then obviously we need the bus route to run down here to Gaggenau. Now, Gaggenau, I want to have my bus terminal sort of roughly where the train station's going to be, but obviously we're not anywhere near building a station yet, so we can probably put it anywhere we want and just relocate it. Or we could really just have the buses go around the block. Yeah, just sort of a bit of a circle here and then head back out of town. So that might be a good way to increase catchment if we do it like that. So, just have a bit of a triangle set up there. And then the last thing I want to do is upgrade this road between the towns because, hang on, we've gone the wrong way. We want Country Street, Country Street, Country Street, because the tiny country road, 30 k's an hour, we want to upgrade that to 80 because I'm fairly sure the buses we've got going have a higher top speed than 30. So we'll go ahead and upgrade all that, and upgrade that. The risk with upgrading the road is that you're paying for it, whereas the town normally does it for free. And of course, by putting a higher speed road connection in, you're sort of encouraging people to go ahead and not use your transport and use their cars instead. But that's a risk we're going to have to run. So we may end up needing a local bus route in town here as well, for all I know, just to move more people up to the airport. We'll sort of see how we go there. No point buying road vehicles. We haven't set up a route yet. So we want one to start at Khalida, work its way down through town, and then come down here to Gaggen, whatever the hell it's called, and then make your way back again. Wow, that's a hell of a station name. Raffi, give up. Good, okay, fantastic. So that's going to be that there, and we'll call this bus intercity, and this is Khalida. Look, no, with caps, Khalida to where's it go? Goes to Gaggen something or other. Gaggenau. Gaggenau. Excellent. Good. Okay, so we've got the bus route set up now. This has actually been reasonably cheap to set up once you get past the initial cost of the airport, so maybe we should have high hopes for this. So we've got a nice new bus here. We'll go ahead and buy, I don't know, 4 of them. That's 3. Good work with the maths. And send them out on bus intercity and see how they get going. So where's our plane gone? Is he actually doing anything? Hello? Hello, what are you doing? You are very slow for a plane. Come on, plane faster. Is it because your propellers are moving at a speed that I can see? Because I really don't think that's going to give you much forward thrust. 98 k's an hour. Come on, your top speed is 333. Come on. Where do we find this pilot? Come on, mate, put the foot down. I don't know, accelerator. It's a pedal on the right, probably. You really don't have to get that high up. I mean, the water's all the way down there. Plus, you still get your... Is that landing gear or is that just no, this is some sort of radar thing. That's okay. Okay, come on. You're high enough now. Cruising altitude. Oh, we're flattening. We're flattening. Oh, now the speed's ticking up. Here we go. Now that we're not climbing anymore. Oh, look at him go. Dun, 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 dun. Let's not look off the edge of that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, are you actually carrying anyone? No, you're completely empty. So you are just hemorrhaging money at the moment. But yeah, cruising speed is definitely coming up quick. That's good. Very happy with that. So we're going to check in with you and see how you're doing in a little bit. And our buses should be making their way to and from the terminal. So you've dropped off at the terminal. You haven't picked anyone up. That's okay. Where'd the other ones go? Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, I see. You're naffing off to the other end of the route to start with. That's fair enough. Can't fault that logic. And you must be just running through town. Oh, no, you've turned around. Okay, you going to pick anyone up? No, so you did that illegal U-turn for nothing. Well done. Is there anyone waiting at the next stop? No. There's a lot of pedestrians around, though. Come on, someone go to my bus stop. Someone go to the bus stop. Come on, look, brand new bus stop. You walked through it. But ignore the hovering ticket machine. you know, but please use it to buy a ticket, then ignore it. No, how about you? What are you doing? Margot Engel? Yes? Yes? No. No, don't walk through it like it's not there. What are you doing? Ralph Jung? They're all going home. That's not much good to us. Well, now my bus is going to run empty. Oh, there's another bus. Hello. I like the bus noises. But yes, no one getting on the bus. Okay, well, hopefully by the time the buses get down here, there'll be people in Gaggenau that are like, well, you know what, Kalita's nice this time of year. Or, more likely, Brackenheim. That's where I want to go. Go do some shopping. Now, we should have a plane coming in here. There he is. Hello. Yes, come into land. Yes, I'm sorry, there's no people waiting for you, so you're just going to have to take off again empty. But, yeah, I have high hopes for you. Oh, look at the landing gear come down. And bump. Mate, I don't think you're supposed to turn your propellers off completely before you're on the ground. Just saying. I mean, those looked suspiciously slow to me. Okay. Well, he has now landed. He has completed his first trip. What's the frequency like of this route? 14 minutes. Okay, let's compare that to some of our passenger trains. 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Okay, so 40-minute frequency, not bad. That should attract a bit of use. What we really need to do is get people coming up on this bus route here. Okay, so you guys are making good speed down there. Yeah, 50 k's an hour. So maybe not 80, but definitely a lot faster than the 30 that was proposed. And eventually we will replace this bus route with a train, or more likely put the train in as well, because as I said, some people will prefer the cheaper ticket, so some people will still opt for the bus even if there is a train, because they'd rather go a bit slower and save a bit of money, which more power to them. We didn't think to weed the airport, did we? Just trees there, that's fine. So yes, you've completed your first trip. You're coming over to the passenger terminal, which is a shed. Like, I mean, it's a warehouse. Come on, what are we doing here? That's more of a passenger terminal than that thing. But apparently that's a passenger terminal according to the game. So, you know, good work, you. But yeah, something else we need to do is put this bus route in down to Oxenhausen. And if that does become popular, we may look at flights between the two, if that's something we can look at. Because I really don't think a railway line between Oxenhausen and Kalita is viable, simply because of all these hills. I mean, I was thinking about it, we'd have to have a station come through here, and you'd sort of have to follow the cliff edge down here and still punch through a tunnel near this quarry. And that's just going to cost an arm and a leg. You know, fast forward to episode 52 when we do just that. But for now, that's a pipe dream. I'm sorry. Okay, so now what we want to do is bring up our contours. We need to somehow get over this mountain range and over to this highway over here. So I'm thinking we come out of town on this sort of angle here, and we just sort of work our way up the side of the mountain here as much as we can without too many tunnels or embankments. We may sort of cheekily pop through the top here just to trim the top off it. But, oh yeah, hang on, we've got a lot of landscaping going on here. But yeah, now we want to keep a nice smooth descent, following the contours as much as we can to get down here to this highway, where we can have a nice little junction there, and then we can run a bus route into Oxenhausen, which will probably be our lot for passenger transport between those two towns for some time. So you're going to be difficult. Okay, cool, that's fine. You can be as difficult as you want. We can find a solution. So if we bring you around like this, there you go. Bring you down and join up to the existing highway. And as you can see, the towns have upgraded that for us, because traditionally that would have been a single lane dirt road. Can't see any cars using it though, so I'm not sure why the town's upgraded it, but well, here we are. Okay, so now what we need to do is we just run another bus route from the terminal all the way down here, and we're going to have a bit of traffic jam on this road. Good work. Yes, okay, so we do have a few private cars around. Nope, there are trucks. Never mind, nope, not a private car. Okay, so we get into town this way, and that's fine. And I guess we'll just run the route up to the station here, because yeah, we don't really have a bus terminal in town for intercity buses, and I can't see myself building one. Just saying. I'm pleased with how much the town's grown on. We've got growth over here, we've got all this growth up here. We're doing quite well. Anyway, so yes, new bus route, please. Well, that's a nice purple colour. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, so we want to start up here, obviously, at the intercity bus terminal. We're going to swing down through the stops in town, because of course we are. And then we're going to come straight down here over to the interchange at the station, so that way you can sort of skip all of the nonsense around the city circle. Why do we have buses running down this road? Like, I don't think I have any buses that should be using this road. They should all be doing the circle route. Oh, I see. They don't bother coming over here. They just sort of shortcut through there. That's might be something we can look at. And then obviously you come back up here and stop at a couple of stops here. Now, are there any logical stops we could make at Oxenhausen just to save people changing buses? Well, I guess we could send the buses through here. Actually, it might make more sense to send them through here because that is the centre of town. So why don't we do that? Yes, and then you go around the block, and then on the way out again, we will have you swing via. Yes, there you go. That way you use the main roads. When we upgrade them to 4-lane roads, we can try and alleviate the traffic a bit there. Good. So we'll call this one Bus Intercity Collider to Oxenhausen. There we go. Fantastic. Now let's go ahead and get ourselves some buses. We'll probably need about 10 buses for this one. So we'll build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. Close that, and then we'll build the other 5 up at the other end just to try and space them out a tiny bit. I mean, it might not be possible to space them out too much, but they should space themselves out in good time. And that is our 200th road vehicle. Well done, us. So let's have a look. We need to also set auto replacement on for these guys as well, because otherwise they will be ridiculously dated, and I'll have to remember to replace all of these other bus routes with that bus on their auto replace. Something like this one, because currently it's replacing with the Sora Tusha, but we'll need to make sure it replaces with the latest and greatest. Is there anyone waiting at the airport? No. How about this side? What are you doing? You're coming to land? Okay, so still no one waiting. That's okay. It's okay. We've got to give it a little while to bed in. Oh, people are waiting for the bus though. Where are you going? You're going via the bus terminal. Your destination is the bus terminal. Ooh, that might mean you're changing. Is there anyone on this bus? No. Okay. Well, probably because we just built that bus, so I don't know what I expected. Are there any buses actually going to pick people up to take them to the airport? That's the first bus. Okay, we probably should put another couple on that route too, I guess. Let's just throw another 2 down there and put them on that one. There we go. Okay, so eventually it looks like we've got people that want to go. And where are you going? Parkstrasse. Okay, so you must be coming down to Gaggenau. But that's okay, because we've got people moving between the towns, which will stimulate a bit of growth in these towns to begin with. And yeah, eventually, hopefully, we'll get people coming over here for work and or shopping. Now, another bus route I wanted to do, because again, it's not statistically likely we're going to have a train doing this, is Gaggenau over to Halver. It's actually going to prompt me to build that bus terminal. I said I wasn't going to, because we may as well get our station in now before the town starts growing too much. So we'll go ahead and put a street in there. Does that match up with the existing street? It does not. Well done me. That was some good planning there. And what I want to do is put in the train station now so that we can come back to it later. So what era are we in? We want... where's our station building design? Hello. Hello. It's probably right at the top. We've probably gone straight past it. That is flexible. Yes, okay. Because I swear the mid-1900s you get a different station design. Street type, street size, max street length. So there's so many options. I just want to choose the type of building I have. No, I must have gone past it a third time. Good work, me. Track type. Oh, here we go. 1920. Yes, we want the 1920 station, please. How big are our passenger stations, BT Dubs? Where is the passenger station? You. How big are you? What do you do? You are 200 meters long. Good. Okay, well, give me one of those, except 200 meters. Please. 200. Yes, good. Okay, fantastic. So build a station there. And we'll obviously connect that up to Kalida and Hirschberg eventually. But for now, we'll just let it just sit and ruminate on its ruminations. And we'll go ahead and put in an intercity bus terminal here for our buses to terminate at. So what we might do is we might send them in here and then send them back out that way, so we don't sort of disrupt things much more. So you, after Parkstrasse, I'd like you to swing up here, please. Oh, there you go. You actually do want to go back out that way, so maybe we do go this way instead, and then get rid of Tellstrasse. Oh, we need to put a bus stop on the other side of the road, otherwise it's not going to work. There we go. That's fixed that up. And over this one here, what we might do to help people get to this one is demolish it. I know that initially doesn't help people get anywhere. We might include that on the route down to Halver, so people can catch the bus that way. So that should work there. Now we've got a bus stop there. That's fine. We'll build a city circle for Gaggenau as well. So we're going to be coming in this way. So we're going to miss this bus stop here. Unless we move it over here. That might be worth doing. Okay, hit the old pause button there. So knock down that bus shelter there and just replace it over on this side, please. Yep, so we can stop in here, head up here, round the block, back out again. That should work just fine. Oh, that's a nice red colour. Big fan of that too. Okay, so we want to come up this way. We want to stop off here. And then we want to come up into the... Okay, you still want to come up this street here. Very interesting. Back to Talstrasse, whatever it wants to be called. And then back down here to Leuchtenwergen. And why is that not doing the things it should be doing? Hello, Leuchtenwergen. Why are you... What's going on here? You do have the... Okay, well, that's not great. Okay, so what's your problem? So when you come in this way, you want to stop at Terminal 1, that's fine. So when you're going back the other way, you want to stop at Terminal 2. How have I buggered this up? What about you? That works a little better, but it's still a bit confusing. Why wouldn't you go around the block and... Oh, I guess that is a shorter route. Okay, no, you win this round. So we'll call this bus Intercity, Halver to Gaggenau. Yes, excellent, good. And we'll go ahead and whack 10 buses on that route as well. Oh, there's no bus depot up there. There's one down here. Yes, there is. Fantastic. Good. I was really hoping that there was. Otherwise, I was in trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And send you guys out on bus Intercity Halver to Gaggenau. Good. So that should be doing some good work there. Obviously, that road is already upgraded, so we don't have to worry about that. If we really wanted, we could have a direct bus from Halver to Kalita via this highway here. But for now, I don't think we really need it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to do any good. Excuse me, sorry. I've got a throat in my frog. Why are we paused? We don't need to be paused. That's what we want to see. Oh, of course we paused because we were messing with the bus stop down there. But yes, so in a future part, I would definitely like to connect Gaggenau up to Hirschberg via train and then up to Weida to use that other platform there. And then eventually run the train line down here to Kalita. Whether we can get a passenger station in up here and simply move the bus stop, I'm not sure. But that would be ideal because then people can get the train up and change for the plane. Is anyone using this plane? So far, no. Okay, where's the plane? It's still empty. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. We've got time. We can wait. Yeah, anyone coming in on the bus here? No. Okay, that's not a good sign. I swear we had someone waiting at the bus stop that wanted to get on the bus though. No. Anyone? Yes? There's someone. You're going to Königberger Strasse. Where the hell is Königberger Strasse when it's at home? Oh, is that a bus stop over here? Please. No. Running out of options. No. That's disappointing. So why else would you want to get a bus up the hill here? Okay, let's do a bit of detective work here. Okay, so someone wants to go to Kalita bus terminal because they want to go to Königberger Strasse. Do we have a list of stations? Can we find Königberger Strasse? Oh, there's a lot of stations here. Actually, there's not that many. Okay, of course, there's 2 of them. Okay. There's one over in... Wow, okay, Lindenfels. I'm not sure why you'd want to go to the Intercity bus terminal to get to that one, so I'm suspecting that's not the one you're aiming for there, fella. What about the other one? That's the bus stop you're waiting at. Are you seriously just riding a bus for the fun of it? I mean, I'm going to take your money, I don't mind, but... Why? Like, are you like a bus enthusiast? You're like, wow, I really want to ride the new bus route. That's something I want to do. So if that's what you want to do, that's good. But maybe you should consider getting a plane. Because planes are cool. Yeah? Yeah, that I can just see that plane hemorrhaging money the entire time. That's not going to be good. That's okay. But we have set up a couple of bus routes. So even if this isn't canon, even if we do roll the clock back to mid-1942 and say, what plane? We never built a plane. What are you talking about? Oh, no, plane nonsense. At least we can safely say that we set up a bus route. You know, because that won't have happened. So we can't say that. But we'll do it again, and then we'll say that we've set up a bus route and that's all we ever set up and nothing else happened. There was no mention of a plane anywhere. Man, time travel is really confusing. It makes my head hurt. Anyway, I'm going to call things a part here. I'm going to round things off here. We have set up a couple of bus routes that I think will become valuable as time marches forward. Certainly they're going to set the groundwork between Kelida and Gaggenau for passengers to catch the train, and it will be interesting to see how people travel when we open the train line up down to Hirschberg, because maybe they'll get the train from Hirschberg to Gaggenau to Kelida. You know, if they're coming from Oxenhausen, will they get the train to Hirschberg? Will they get the bus from Halver? I don't know. It's a moderately exciting mystery that we're going to solve at some point in the future. But until then, I've been T-Nick. This has been Transport Fever on the River Delta map. This has been a loss-making aircraft. I'm going to let the game run for a few months and just see if anyone wants to use this route. And you can find out next week whether they did or not. And yeah, we'll see what happens with this possibly alternate timeline. Or possibly main timeline. As I said, time travel is confusing, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Later days. Seriously, maybe no one wants to catch this plane because it is very slow. I swear the ship's moved faster than you, fella. Come on. Come on. Pull. Keep going. Come on. Up in the air. There you go. Your tail's off. Come on. Yep. You've done it. Well done. Yep. Now accelerate. You're not paying the fuel bill. What do you care? Yeah, oh no, we're going to bank a bit. Okay, that's fine. We are going in that direction anyway. Whee!